Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and honored guests. I'd like to share with you my speech entitled Follow Your Dream. And as I start, I'd like to first ask a question. Do you all like movies?
Yes.
Okay, well, what kind of movies do you like? Do you like boring movies or exciting movies?
Boring.
You like boring movies? When you see a movie, you want to see something exciting, right? But what about if you read a book? Do you like to read boring books or exciting books? You may think it's either question, but we like exciting movies, exciting books, but isn't it interesting? So many people live a boring life. We like excitement, but when it comes to our own life, a lot of people, our lives are boring. That's why we need to watch exciting movies to stimulate our life. What I'd like to share with you today is a secret to help you live in an exciting life. That secret I call FYD. Firstly, find your dream. Once you've found your dream, follow your dream. So a lot of my university students, they're 18, and I ask them, what do you want to do with your life? They say, work in an office, be a government worker. I said, that's not very exciting. I said, yeah, they say, I know, but it's safe, it's stable, it's a good job. And they're only freshmen. And I try and shake them up and say, no, don't you have some dream? Because doing some boring office job is not going to lead to an exciting life. So what I'd like to do, after speaking with a lot of people, I realized a lot of people have dreams, but those dreams have been pushed down. And so people lose their dream. And in losing their dream, they lose their passion. So what I'd like to share is 3 things that I found that are the cause of people losing their dreams, and what you can do to rectify those 3 things that cause people to lose their dreams. Number 1, the first thing that I found that made people lose their dream are what I call dream stealers. These are people who steal your dreams. And there's 3 kinds of people who steal your dreams. Number 1, surprisingly, the people who most steal young people's dreams are parents. Right, I got it. Parents. So many of my students tell me, I want to study this. Oh, but my parents say I should study that. So I know parents have the best interest for their kids. But if you have a dream and your parents don't agree, my advice is follow your dream. Because it's your life. Only you can live your life. Second dream stealers, I believe, are your friends. Before I became a lecturer at university, I used to be a chef. But before I was a chef, do you know what my first job was when I was 17?
Boxer.
I was 17. I worked in an Italian restaurant. I was washing the dishes. I was a dishwasher. That was my first job. But I thought I want to do something to help people. So I used to say to my friends, I love education, even though I wasn't good at school. So I want to help people, but my friends would say, but you didn't finish high school, what are you talking about? And so they would push my dreams down. But one day I thought, I want to get back into education. So when I go back to my hometown in London and they find out I'm lecturing at university, they think I'm kidding. They don't believe me. Until I show my Korean business card, then they believe me. So another thing that I believe steals people's dreams are society, the media. So the media tells us there's no jobs, you have to take anything, or there's high recession, unemployment. We believe the media, and so we think, yeah, I'll just take anything. One of my students, I said, what job do you want to do? He said, I'll work for any company that will take me. I said, if you have such an attitude, no company will take you. But we believe what the media tells us. So the first thing we need to do, we need to reject what I call the dream stealers. Second thing that I think stops a lot of people in fulfilling their dreams, what I call reality. Now, we may think, okay, I don't have an education, or I don't have the means to fulfill my dreams. But that's no excuse. Have you heard of somebody called Henry Ford. You may just have heard of him. If you have a car, then I'm sure you know of him. He lived over 100 years ago. When people travel around in horse and carriages, he had a dream to build not only a motor car, but a V8 engine that was compact and cheap so that everyone could have a car. But everyone said to him, "You're crazy. You know, we've had horse and carriages for years, you know." The thing was, at that time, there was no such thing as a V8 engine. So people said, well, it's impossible because it doesn't exist. But do you think something like reality stopped him? Even though there was no precedent, there was no such engine, he kept on thinking about it. How can I make such an engine? So he didn't let a small thing like reality stop him. Now we take it for granted. You know, we have all kinds of engines today. But over 100 years ago, it took somebody who believed in his dream. And even though there was no such engine, he continued to pursue that dream until one day he created such an engine. And so a lot of things that people find difficult, sometimes they can help us to pursue our dream. The third thing that I believe stops a lot of people from fulfilling their dreams, a lot of us, we give up when times are difficult, when things are hard. Perhaps you know of somebody called J.K. Rowling, right? You know, when she wrote her first book, she went to 12 different publishers in London, and they all rejected her book. They said it was too long, it was too complex. Anyway, kids are not interested in reading. What do you think would have happened if she listened to them and believed in them? What do you think would have happened if she gave up? A lot of people start with big dreams, but as soon as they reach university, those dreams get smaller and smaller, and eventually they give up. I always think when we follow our dreams, it's like climbing a mountain. You put one foot in front of the next, and you keep on going, and eventually you reach the top. Nobody thinks when they're climbing a mountain, oh, I've been climbing for an hour, and I haven't seen the top yet, so I might as well stop and go back. Or when I was coming down from Quenju today, it took a few hours. I didn't think halfway, oh, I don't see Seoul yet, so maybe I should stop and go back to Quenju. You continue going, and eventually, if you don't stop, you'll get to your destination. It's the same with our dreams. But so many people stop halfway because it's difficult, or because they don't see the end in sight. So I'd like to encourage each one of us that it is possible to fulfill our dreams if we, number one, reject those dream stealers who tell us it's impossible, no one has ever done it. If we reject our parents when they're telling us, go for something safe, go for something easy. Number two, I believe if we ignore reality and keep on going and pursuing our dream. And number three, if we persevere. As I come to a close, I'd like to ask you, have any of you heard of somebody called Alfred Nobel? When you hear that name, what do you think of? Right, Nobel Prize, but do you know, he actually invented dynamite. And he was fortunate enough to read his own obituary in the newspapers because somebody thought he had died. And they wrote about him in the newspapers. And they wrote how he was a merchant of death because he created dynamite. And when he saw that in the newspapers, he thought, I don't want people to think of me as somebody creating death. And so even though he was quite old at the time, he thought, I want to do something with the remaining years of my life that can leave a legacy. Even though he was old, but he had a new dream, to leave something behind, that when he's dead and gone, people could remember him. And so you may be young, you may be old, but I want to say, it is not too late to find your dream. Find something that will excite you. Find something that will make you passionate about your life. And I believe if you have that passion, then you won't need to go and watch exciting movies. Or when I was on the train today, people are all around watching TV on the train. You won't need to be entertained because your life will be exciting. And I believe when you live such a life, you'll inspire those around you in following your dreams. So thank you very much.